Welcome back. I'm Dorothy Morgan. I'm a professional astrologer, and you can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com, where you can read this forecast. So thanks for joining today. Today I want to talk about the full moon in Scorpio. It is on May 5th. It's a Saturday night at 11:35 p.m. So we've got, that's Eastern time zone. Please adjust accordingly. With the full moon in Scorpio, there are a lot of deep, passionate, and intense feelings out and about. Full moons do tend to bring people out and help their emotions to really stand out. When we have this once a year full moon in Scorpio, it's rather intense. So we need to look at it in the way that is going to be most helpful for us. What I always like to do with full moons is to write things down that we need to release when it comes to the full moon. Here's a couple of ideas if you're interested in doing anything like this, things that we want to release from our lives. So I easily release, fill in the blank, from my life. And that's one thing. Make it simple. Just fill in the blank. You can do that a whole bunch of times. Write each thing on a small piece of paper and burn it, send it off to the universe. So what we do with the full moons. Scorpio energy is also about money that we owe others, feeling in debt, feeling in, whether it's financial or of the heart. So that passion, that obsessive compulsive behavior can show up. And again, we also can really worry about the money that we owe when the full moon is active. Or so for some people will be feeling this in a financial way, and other people will be feeling this in a relationship fashion. So let's take that Scorpio energy and use it in a very positive fashion by not obsessing about certain things, looking at what you are obsessing about and just saying, okay, I'm not going to obsess about it. Just being aware. So let's do that. That's the best way to use this Scorpio energy, to be aware and to release what no longer serves you. I'm not going to repeat myself anymore. So what we got also going on with this full moon, Mercury is opposite Saturn. Mercury is about communication. Saturn is still retrograde in Libra. So we have this energy of communication, which is a little bit stifled. We need to, in some way, something is slowing us down in the communication. So the full moons tend, again, as we've already said, to heighten our emotions. And when emotions are heightened, things are said that are generally held back. All right, so we can expect that. And what happens here too is that with the passion of this Scorpio moon, we tend to, the pendulum will swing too far from one side or the other. So just be aware of that, that if you're feeling overly emotional and you need to express it, well then feel free. What we want right now, especially with a full moon does represent relationships because the sun is in one spot and the moon is straight across in another. This is the last full moon before we have an eclipse coming up with the next big lunar cycle. So this is most important, that at this point in time that we release the things, the relationships or the partnerships or that one thing, whatever it is in your life. It's most important that we become aware of that and release it. Stop hanging on to the things that do not belong in our lives. Very, very important. Lots of us put our heads in the sand because it's easier to ignore than to face. Scorpio moon will bring this up. All right, that's what I'm going to stop with today. So keep an eye out for how far your emotions have gone swinging one direction or another. Go to my website, nhastrologer.com, where you can read this forecast in all of its detail. And I do a weekly forecast, which is a daily forecast as well by subscription. Thank you so much for watching and for being with me once again. Namaste and blessed be.